California. Hello, everyone. This is Terry Saul along with the Golden Girl, Joan Weston. And tonight we've got an exciting game between the New York Thunder and the Miami Renegades. It's a minute taking the track. 6-4. New York Thunder is still holding on to the lead. Ren Ventura and James Paul at the rear of the pack.
This had to happen, James
Good
Paul.
blocking. James Paul and Ren Ventura. And here comes Fernandez trying to get by. Paul setting himself up. Takes a shoulder block in there.
He's got to get a helmet on.
20 seconds left to go. Look at John Parker running around the infield there.
Jammer can't score without a helmet. He's got to have his helmet.
15 seconds left to go. Hard blocking going on. Ventura now making the move against Paul. Throws the jump block. Takes Paul down. Beautiful jump block. Look out. And James Paul draws a penalty.
In a way, I really don't think that was fair. I don't think James Paul really realized the play was over.
No, he didn't. I think he was aggravated because Ren Ventura is relatively, compared to James Paul, a new skater. And Paul was surprised by the tactics he used, and he tried to retaliate, but unfortunately the time had run out in the period. Correction, in the jam, and he received the penalty. There he is now sitting in the penalty box.
Ventura's a pretty strong-looking skater, isn't he?
Oh, he's a fantastic skater, but I think in a knockdown, drag-out situation, I have to go James Paul because he's a veteran.
There is a penalty. James Paul was called for pushing. There's a 1-minute penalty on James Paul, no score. So the New York Thunder, I did not see the push myself, but that's why we're up here and they're down there. Meantime, number 3, Joe Gilbert, out on the jam, and he's got a veteran.
Here comes Macedo. Look at this, Phil Moore's going out as a blocker to try to neutralize Macedo.
Veteran Frankie Macedo out on the jam. Gilbert hits him up, and Moore now takes the shot.
Now here comes E.G. Miller. He's coming out.
We've got a 4-man going, Joan, but 2 of the guys can't score points.
We've got a full house.
Moore going down, and I believe, yes, they are going to call holding on E.G. Miller.
You know, that was a pretty good plan.
Macedo is still going around. Roger Pickler and Steve Sartain are the only ones that have not been scored over. Time is running out. Pickler's been by. Sartain going. He gets scored out with time running out with 2. 1. It's over.
You know, he gives it his all. On that play, the Thunder set up a real nice-looking play, but Frank anticipated it beautiful. Went underneath their double block. Unfortunately, E.G. Miller got a penalty when he took him out of the play. But Frank continued on. That's the difference between an amateur and a professional.
That's correct. And you know, Joan, speaking of amateurs, even though he's not an amateur, he's a professional skater, but he's relatively new. I'm kind of anxious to see Frank Macedo's son, J.R. Macedo, in action. He's on the team, but he hasn't been on the track skating yet. Oh, yes.
He's up there now wearing the Jammer's helmet.
He's wearing a Jammer's helmet, too.
Look out. Immediately, Paul and Ventura go down.
You didn't see him a couple of weeks ago. Frankie skated a great game.
Yes?
Yeah. I think you're in for a treat. I don't think you've seen him as often.
He just took a quick from the spot, and now he's facing the New York Thunder Jammer.
But he's going to have to work to try and catch up to Joe Perez. Perez waiting for him now. Half a minute 30 in jam time.
He's going to be surprised at the hard blocks he's going to get off of this little guy. Everybody looks at Perez and says he's little, but boy, does he hit.
Well, look at that.
Put down.
When he got up again, Frank...
15 seconds left to go. James Paul's at the rear of the pack. Now he's going to lead the charge against number 14, Ren Ventura. Ventura's taking up high and on the rail. Jumping Joe Perez has got one, a double block. It's a BT Miller. Skaters going down. Look out, skaters going in the...
Power play. James Paul, 3 strong points.
3 points for the New York Thunder. The score is 10-8.
John,
yes.
What do you think about this thing about E.G. Miller saying that Ventura didn't skate hard enough when he was coaching the Renegades, and that's why he lost his job and they went out and they hired Parker?
I think E.G. Miller is a crybaby. I think he's trying to blame his lack of talent, lack of coaching ability on someone else. You look at Brent Ventura's skating ability, the way he gives it his all every time he skates, and you look at E.G. Miller. I think it's obvious that E.G. Miller is a crybaby.
Thank you. That's 2.
Strong words. Strong words. Less than a minute left to go in the period. And if anybody can do it, it is this man. Number 15, Larry Lewis. Larry Lewis out of the jam, and he's got a speed burner after him, number 7, jumping Joe Perez. At the rear of the pack, Ren Ventura and James Paul to do the fence. The both skaters go down, back up on their feet. Perez with a little bit of a lead, but Lewis will stay right with them. Half a minute 30 in jam time. At the rear of the pack again, James Paul, and both skaters hit. Spinning around Perez, both skaters staying up on their feet. Skaters again hit. 20 seconds left to go in jam time. 20 seconds left. Time is rapidly running out of the scoreboard clock on this period. Paul throws a block and takes out his own man. Lewis going down. And Perez looks like he could possibly be hurt. There is one Miami point picked up by Larry Lewis over James Paul. And Paul wanting to discuss it with Lewis, but John Parker is going to be in the middle.
Boy, Joe Perez really fell hard on that play. Really hard. He tripped over James Paul. You know, when you see two jammers hit each other like that, the guy on the inside is normally thinking to I'll take this guy down and I'll get it up and I'll out-scramble him and somebody in the pack will work on somebody for me. But Perez was so evenly balanced there with Lewis that neither one of them could run away from each other.
How bad do you feel, Joan, when you do something like that? You take out your own person, and especially if you hurt your own teammate.
Oh, you feel rotten. I mean, there's no two ways about it. You feel real bad, but you know, if your teammates like these two have been teammates for some time, you laugh it off. You laugh it off. You say, well, we blew it this time, but we'll make it up another time.
Well, that's the end of the first half of action. As the New York Thunder 10, the Miami Renegades 9. John Hall, we thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Terry.
We wish you the best of luck with the season.
I enjoyed it.
John, congratulations. Your team's really looking sharp.
Joan, that's a compliment that I really treasure. Thank you.
We'll be back with more skating action right after this timeout.